Galatasaray could end Chelsea's loan spell and send him back to Stamford Bridge. Hakim Ziyech may return to Chelsea in January, as Galatasaray will reportedly end his loan deal early. The 30-year-old player has scored 4 goals and made 6 assists in 14 appearances, but nagging injuries and fitness issues have hampered his impact and limited his playing time, something the club is certainly not happy about. For this reason, Turkish outlet NTV Spor via the Daily Mail reported that Galatasaray is ready to end his loan period and return him to West London. However, this must be treated with caution because there are 2 major obstacles that can prevent this from happening. Firstly, Ziyech will travel to the Africa Cup of Nations during the January transfer window and will be called up to the Morocco squad. Secondly, there appears to be confusion over the nature of his loan deal, with Chelsea stating that Galatasaray have an obligation to buy Ziyech at the end of the season for a fee estimated at around £2.5 million. However, other reports suggest that this is actually just an option to purchase, or perhaps even an obligation, but only if certain conditions are met. Journalists have now suggested Chelsea could face competition from West Ham for the 27-year-old defender. Last month, Bild's Christian Falk claimed that Chelsea were interested in signing Bayer Leverkusen's Jonathan Tah as a potential replacement for Thiago Silva. However, the Blues don't appear to be the only admirers of Tah. Journalist Paul Brown recently told Give Me Sport that West Ham have been eyeing the centre-back for several years, and David Moyes has been keeping an eye on him directly. According to Brown, West Ham have been monitoring Jonathan Tah for some time, meaning Chelsea may have to compete closely with their London rivals if they want to sign him. Paul Brown said, "It's interesting that they are going for a centre-back as they look well stocked there. This shows that someone would leave if they did a deal like that. Tah is actually someone who has been on their radar for 2 or 3 years. I know Moyes is personally a big fan of the player. He has been watching him personally for many years." Chelsea, Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur are reportedly interested in bringing in Paulo Dybala from AS Roma. A report from Fichajes claims that Chelsea, Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur hope to recruit Paulo Dybala. The 30-year-old World Cup winner can be had for a bargain price. A clause in the Argentina international's contract would allow him to leave for €13 million this month. This release clause can only be triggered by foreign clubs, and Serie A clubs will have to pay a higher price to secure his services. Chelsea could definitely use a versatile striker like him. Apart from Dybala's ability to score goals, he will also help creatively. He is flexible enough to operate as a winger as well as a centre forward. The World Cup winner has the experience and quality to excel in the Premier League, and he could transform Chelsea in the final third. The Argentina international has scored 4 goals and 6 assists in all competitions this season. The Argentina international has proven himself in Serie A, and he will be looking to make his mark in the Premier League now. He is at the peak of his career, and a move to Chelsea, Manchester United or Tottenham could help him compete for trophies in England. Apart from that, clubs in England could offer him a tempting package. Dybala would likely be tempted to move to the Premier League if a concrete proposal were put forward. Chelsea reportedly want to sign defender Jean-Claire Todibo from Nice. The Blues are said to face competition from Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United to land the Frenchman. As per a report in Foot Mercato, Todibo is now Chelsea's main target to strengthen their defence. The French defender has been in excellent form since moving to the league one side from Barcelona in 2021. He was signed for €8.5 million, but Nice want at least €50 million to part with their top star, who is under contract until 2027. Chelsea is leaking goals this season and wants to add defenders to its squad. They see Todibo as a potential replacement for Silva. Apart from that, they also want to sell Trevoh Chalobah and Malang Sarr. French football expert Jonathan Johnson has been full of praise for Jean-Claire Todibo and claims that the Nice star is ready for a move to the Premier League. He said on Sky Sports, "Todibo has lived in Nice for the last few years. He paired very well for a short period of time with William Saliba, who is obviously at Arsenal now. He put himself in the right position. considering entering the French senior team in the next few years. So it's not surprising that big clubs are taking notice and paying attention to Todibo. I think given the fact that Nice won't be featuring in European competition next season, it's a really good opportunity this summer to potentially get a player who, in my opinion, is ready for the Premier League, but someone who also has a little bit of experience, more room to grow, at a reasonable price. Because if Nice qualify for Europe again, someone like Todibo, in my opinion, will earn more money than he did this summer. Newcastle United want to sign Andre Santos from Chelsea, with his loan at Nottingham Forest expected to be terminated. The Brazilian midfielder cost €12.5 million to the Blues, and after spending pre-season with the club, he was loaned to Nottingham Forest. He made just 2 appearances for Forest, which frustrated Chelsea, who are expected to end his loan deal this month. The latest report from Standard Sport journalist Nizar Kinsella states that the Blues are disappointed by Santos' lack of playing time at the City ground. Kinsella said, "The Blues can cancel the loan agreement if Santos fails to reach a certain number of appearances in January. Santos could return to Chelsea, despite big competition in midfield from Moses Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Conor Gallagher, Romeo Lavia and Leslie Ugochukwu. With his future still unclear, Newcastle appear to have reignited their interest in the 19-year-old. According to Ben Jacobs, the Magpies have inquired about Santos' availability. Newcastle's interest has clearly been long-standing, and Howe could do with an addition in midfield as Sandro Tonali is suspended until next season." Armando Broja is likely to start up front, with Nicholas Jackson flying out for the Africa Cup of Nations. This is a chance for him to really prove himself, which he needs to do following the opening of the January transfer window. One good game against Preston won't be enough to stop Chelsea signing a new striker this month. However, Mauricio Pochettino may decide to keep Broja in his starting 11 for the next match. And if that happens, and Broja is able to make it happen, perhaps Chelsea will hold off signing a new centre-forward until the summer. If Broja struggles against Preston, it could impact his future at Chelsea. The Blues may feel that they need to sign a new number 9 if their second choice for the position cannot get the job done against the Championship side. And if that happens, Broja could see his playing time drop drastically and a loan or permanent exit becomes possible. The 22-year-old Albanian international has been linked with a move to Inter Milan. Saturday's game against Preston, which doesn't seem like the biggest on paper, could be a big one for Broja. Overall, the Chelsea Academy graduate must show Mauricio Pochettino and the bosses at Stamford Bridge that signing a new striker does not need to be a priority, and he can start that quest with a fine performance at the weekend. The Chelsea manager is interested in the La Liga star in Girona with a price tag of €40 million. The impressive Ukrainian striker has 11 goals and 5 assists in 17 appearances for Girona this season, and the Mirror reports that Pochettino likes Dovbyk as one of their options for the striker this January. They've been monitoring him this season. Undoubtedly, Dovbyk has been one of the best in La Liga this season, showing the ability to link well with his teammates, finish with accuracy, and be the target man he is expected to be. Atletico Madrid is another team eyeing Dovbyk. While Dovbyk has a track record of scoring goals in Ukraine, and his form looks more sustainable, this will be the second time in as many transfer windows that Chelsea have brought in half a La Liga season following the purchase of the forward.